Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
This is it. It's the last minute. Get your tickets for our live show, Silent Trailers. It is Saturday. You might even be hearing this on Saturday. Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be competing in our Silent Trailers game show, the greatest game show ever made. Everybody loves it. Against these people: Aparna Nancherla, Andy Kindler, Mike Cannon, Tom Sharpling, Baron Vaughn. The show is so much fun. Chemda knows nothing about movies, less about celebrities, so she's the one who watches a movie trailer on silent, describes it to the contestants, and we have to guess what the movie is. Tom Hanks is the same as Tom Cruise to her, is the same as Elijah Wood. It really doesn't matter, and somehow we have to figure out the answers.
Okay, but let's face it, Hollywood has like 4 faces. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Emma Stone, doesn't she look like Lindsay Lohan? Am I getting those people right?
Yeah, but again, somehow they all look like Elijah Wood to you. The show's a lot of fun. Play along. Watch me kick these great comedians' assholes in even further than they already are. Get your tickets now. KeithAndTheGirl.com/tickets. Now! It's last minute. You waited. Don't blow it. KeithAndTheGirl.com/tickets. Do you want a free ticket? Yeah, sure. Who doesn't? KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP. You'll see the information right there, okay? So I'll see you there either today, tomorrow, whatever it is. Saturday night.
February 20th.
Whenever you hear this, I'm ready. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, another jam-packed show today. Another producer for the day, a Kickstarter supporter of the marathon. His name is Chris Robinson, and he's learning how difficult it is, though, to be a producer because we don't see him.
He's not here.
But what's exciting is me and the guest and Chemda, we can do whatever the fuck we want because we got no boss today. So the things we're going to be talking about are going to be out there, you know? What do you think it is? Are we guessing it's a producer's first day? He doesn't know about time zones, right?
Yeah, it could be a time zone thing. I don't know. Maybe the internet is out where he is or something. We tried reaching him. So he's not here, but he's here in spirit. And he still booked these guests.
Yes.
So let's see how well he did. I think it's a good round of people. But, you know, maybe this should be the poll. Did he do good or not good?
Let's say hi from Comedy Central Presents and The Good, the Dad, and the Ugly podcast, Casey James Salengo.
Hey, great to see you. Thanks for having us. Chris, picking 3 straight white dudes. Way to go, buddy.
Way to read the
room. That's gonna look real good, pal.
On your resume. A, you didn't show up, and B, interesting.
Unbelievable.
Maybe he realized, he's like, ooh, this isn't good optics.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not coming.
I don't know about that.
He's like, I won't let them know what I look like. Fuck it. How you holding up over there, Casey?
I'm doing great. Just, ripping and rocking, wearing my new Loverboy shirt I just put on.
Congrats.
Everybody's working for the weekend. And except for me, I don't work at all. I don't do anything. So I just wear shirts around the house.
Chris did this on purpose. He gave Casey a long enough time during the mic check to do a wardrobe change. So we got to see that.
I just got this in the mail. People say you're supposed to wash clothes when you first get them. I never do. How do you guys feel about that?
I like to wash it, especially the underwear.
Oh no, I pop it right on, right? When I rip it out of the bag, pop it on.
I don't know what you're supposed to what are you supposed to wash and not wash? Cast iron skillet, clothes. I don't know the rules for all these different things.
The cast iron skillet is the one thing you're not supposed to wash, Keith.
I don't know.
It's not that hard.
Who knows? It sounds hard. By the way, do you have one, Casey?
Yeah, and it is confusing. I do have to ask my wife every single time what to do with that.
So is mine already ruined? My girlfriend made risotto in it, but I was recording a show, so she didn't clean. She left the risotto in there, didn't clean it because she didn't want to make any noise. So now I took the food out, but by now the food is, caked on there, and you're not supposed to use soap, I understand.
Yeah, you just scrape it, I think. I don't fucking know. I don't know why it's like this, but
first of all, ask Xerxes after, because I also, just like Casey, I ask him every time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wash it. Do I what do? I think you turn on the heat until it almost burns itself off, and then you just wipe it off.
I just got this 2 days ago. I'm sweating bullets over it.
I hear you.
It's a lot of pressure, but
this is nerve-wracking.
Right.
Speaking about pressure, we just celebrated Valentine's Day. Fairly newly married, Casey James Salengo. How did you do on Valentine's Day?
I didn't do great, but here's the thing. Because her birthday is February 8th. And I got all like my back unemployment that was owed to me. All that it wasn't coming to me. I'm usually very broke this time of year.
Okay. And what's that from? Moving, right? Being a mover?
A mover, comedy, stuff like whatever. I don't know where it comes from. I don't understand it. But I had a lot of money. So for her birthday, I went fucking ballistic and I spent like a shit ton of money. I got her all this fun stuff. I did all kinds of cool stuff. And she said she doesn't care about Valentine's Day. She doesn't care at all. And I've gotten her presents in the past and she's actually gotten upset because I thought she was just, doing that thing that women do where they lie to you. But she really doesn't care.
She was upset about what? She was pretending.
Well, she was upset because at night I was like, all right, I've got a buddy Owen up the street that I watch wrestling with sometimes. So I was like, I'm going to go watch wrestling. She's like, oh, all right, I guess. All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day. I'm like, you said you didn't care. You said you didn't care. So, it's just, I just believe what she says because that's the kind of person I am. So I take people at their word, but she got over it pretty quickly.
Is it your fault for setting a precedent that you gave presents in the past? Is that what I just understood?
I don't know. It's my fault somehow in the end.
I know that.
But it's fine. It all turned out fine.
All right. So you guys are still together?
Apparently.
All right. So she lets me know day to day, right?
Yeah.
This is her microphone, so they're still cool.
It is. This is her everything. She owns everything.
I follow Casey, of course, online, Casey J. Salengo on Twitter. My wife refuses to retweet me, and that kind of integrity makes me love her even more.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It is tough with couples in social media because I've seen something Kyle's written, and I'm just like, okay, that's all right,
Yeah.
Scroll, and I know it's vice versa.
It's tough. Well, she doesn't go on Twitter very much. So, but when she does, she'll I've seen her like faving. I see her fave a couple tweets in a row. I actually took a video of it one time and put it on my Instagram of her because I was watching her look at my tweets and this was her face.
She's scrolling and she's like, not interested.
There's not a smile, not a single smile, but she's faving. No retweets.
And then, but I see that she did respond to that tweet and she wrote, Casey.
Yeah, she said Casey, and that means she doesn't do it. And in other couples, I feel like they just retweet each other out of pity, but she has integrity.
Xerxes says he's not on social media, and he's mostly not. But every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I just tweeted this thing, and I just look him in the face and go, feel free to retweet me.
Oh boy.
And most times he'll just hand me his phone and I'm like, now I gotta
right.
It takes the joy out of it,
but then it kind of adds like smiley face, ha ha ha, crying, laughing face, hearts.
If you're gonna give me your phone, I'm not only gonna respond and retweet, I'm also gonna post for you about how great I am. So you're welcome. Casey always puts the nice spin on everything. I love it.
All right, here's another of Chris Robinson's favorites. His album is out. It's called Tense and Uncomfortable. You're going to love it. The great Paul Hooper. Hello, Paul.
Oh, man. Hey, what's up, guys?
I saw Paul moved from New York some time ago, right? I'm looking at a message from November. This, of course, is recorded in February, like we said. My move from New York City, he wrote at the time, is getting pushed back by 2 weeks. So if you have a show in a field or an aqueduct, I still want no part of it. Paul does not. Do you miss comedy? I know everybody misses money. Do you miss comedy?
A little bit. Not as much as everybody else, I don't think. But yeah, I don't want to do it outdoors. Half the venues I walked into over 20 years, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So imagining walking in a park just kind of anger me a lot more.
Right.
But
I would think that you would miss comedy a lot because that's like your only joy in life, as far as I understand.
I do miss being on stage and, in front of good crowds and all that stuff. But the other bullshit, absolutely not. But that's like a sliver of it. The rest of it, I'm relieved to not be around, the business of it and bullshit like that. So I miss travel. I miss being on stage,
Right.
Miss the stuff.
So you moved to where you're from, North Carolina?
Yeah, we came back to Charlotte, and we'll see. I don't know for how long, but yeah, I moved in December, like right before Christmas. Yeah.
Are you staying with your mom?
No, I'm living with my sister. I moved in. She's got this place, so it's like nice. My sister and I have haven't spent a lot of time together, so we're like connecting for the first time. This is most time we spent together. I saw her when I was like a little kid, and she was little, and then that's it. And now all these years, we see each other at holidays for a few years, and now we're like living together. So it's good. She's great, and so we're sort of getting to know each other.
All right. You don't share a bedroom or anything, right? Like
no,
adults
no,
now.
I have my own bedroom.
Oh, good
you are
for you.
so from the country, Keith. What the hell?
No, I'm just saying. All right, good for him.
How many rooms in your when you were growing up, Keith, did you have in your home?
We did have I had one sister, and she did have her separate bedroom, and I have 3 brothers. We were all in one room.
So you guys were all four boys in the room?
2 bunk beds, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's why I didn't discover masturbating until I was 18, because where were you gonna do it?
I don't know. Boys figure it out, I think.
You find a way.
I'll tell you that much.
I think it was more the devil and you're going to hell.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Valentine's Day, Paul, you're dating, right? Mr. Curmudgeon. Yeah. How long has it been now?
It's been someone since end of November.
End of November. Okay.
Yeah,
and
still new.
It's still new. And she's with you, right?
Yes.
And
why is he nervous?
He's uncomfortable.
What he feels? Why does it feel like Keith is interrogating you?
Right. Is she in the next room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely in the next room.
Does she know you're dating?
Yeah, she's aware I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it that's not your comedy buddy for the day, and you
what?
Okay. Don't what me like that.
Hey, you know what? You should have known to have headphones. This is your fault. Are you in love?
I mean, I'm traveling, so I didn't have headphones. Ill prepared. I don't know. Start with those questions.
Right.
That's too much. I'm like at a theme park, for Christ's sake. I mean,
do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day? Did you do something? It's still on the calendar.
We live in 2 different cities, so this is sort of the belated Valentine's Day trip.
Okay.
We're having this week.
Okay. Do you bring a gift for that, or just going out?
Yeah, gifts.
What'd you get?
Did you give one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on. I'm good at this. I've been doing this for 16 years.
This is incredible.
What did you get?
Flowers. There's candy and stuff like that. There's a hat. There's various things, You want all the items? It was a gift bag. It was an assortment of things.
Did it was an assortment of things, or like an assortment of things in one bag? You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Was it all in a basket, like a teddy bear and a lollipop? And
I don't know.
Is this a 5-year-old? What?
Wait, is it one of those CVS bags, or?
No. It was actually a good, nice gift bag, sort of. And I don't know if that's the right way to put it. There were various things in there, not the standard Valentine's thing, the flowers and stuff.
Right. Wait, was there something overly personal? Do you find flowers personal because people call flowers?
Well, no, I've had this over the years because I'm an elderly man that I've had relationships, and girls were like, I don't like flowers. And then I don't get them flowers. And then the next year I'm like, I think everybody's like, they like flowers. And I get flowers they don't like. So I've had everything. Girls that like them and don't. I don't know if I want to risk it anymore. And I spent a lot of money on Gerber daisies, and half the girls I dated didn't like them.
I don't know how this started, but I will have this problem, for lack of a better word, for the rest of my life, that no matter who I'm dating, whether it's their birthday or Valentine's Day or Christmas even, and I know I got something that I was even smart enough to make a note of something they mentioned, but whenever I present it, I'm like, is this what the queen would like? Oh, a massage. Yeah, I mentioned I want that, and here it is. So it's right. I did it correctly. Yeah. Yay! Let's do this again in 6 months. Do you ever sweat like that?
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking every time. It's pressure-filled every time because I want them to like it, but you try to get something personal or unique or do something different. It's not stereotypical. Like flowers are down the middle. I mean, if you really love flowers, then I'll get flowers. You really love them, but if it's just a thing, I don't want to just go through the motions. So I get others, which is a risk if you go for the personal stuff.
Can I tell you how much I want to make fun of you being like the only female in the room right now? But
Oh.
It sounds like it should be made fun of, but you know what? I feel the pain. I get it because it is confusing and it is upsetting when you get it quote wrong. And the fact that you can get love wrong so hard is something. So I like Keith's idea of writing things down, and then hoping for the best. But I would like to say that we're clear as day, and I want to feel myself be as clear as day to my boyfriend. But yesterday, he reminded me again that once a month I get emotional. I've had my period for over 30 years. And yesterday I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's the pandemic. I was crying. I was overwhelmed. And then he's like, or maybe once a month you just feel like this.
Did the pandemic cut you in the groin?
I'm like, no, but that's PMS and I'm in MS. And he's like, maybe it's not just before, maybe it's during. And I'm like, does this happen every month? And he goes, probably most likely yes. I'm like, every month this happens. And he's like, yes. And I go, okay, I promise I'll remember next month. And he's like,
With this Valentine's Day, I'm nervous. It's another gift giving thing. I don't remember what happened last year. We've been together about 2.5 years. So I gave a massage that she mentioned. I didn't give it. I'm not an asshole. It's from a professional. And then she gave me probiotic gummies. And I'm like, well, I didn't know it didn't matter at all.
Oh boy.
There's glitter on her card, for God's sakes. Yeah. Didn't even matter. All right. Here's another win of Chris Robinson's favorites. He's been on Getting Dug with High. His albums are on Spotify and iTunes. Take a listen. Trey Galyon.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Trey.
Hello.
I'm Hispanic, remember, if that counts at all towards.
Damn it. I didn't know. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, that's cool. I mean, obviously, there's a reason why you didn't know right off the bat. I mean, I don't.
You hide.
Trey's passing.
Yeah, man, I'm pale and my name is pretty white.
Galyon.
You speak Spanish?
No.
Well, that's probably the number
I remember
one
parts
rule, right?
of the Rubber Ducky song in Spanish, but that's it, really.
You can get through with just that, I think. If you travel.
I mean, I think if you just sing that, the chorus of it, people are at least going to be nice to you. They'll be like, we get he's trying, and it's the Rubber Ducky song from Sesame Street. So
let's have it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's give him a little hug. What?
Yeah, go ahead though. In 3, 2.
Rubber Ducky to Eris, mi amigo.
Oh, you gotta stop. No. Casey was right. I'm sorry.
You didn't even. You said Rubber Ducky in English.
Oh, because that's how they say it in the song.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
But you didn't even say Rubber Ducky. You didn't even.
I didn't roll my R's. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's how white I am.
You're from Texas, right?
Yeah, I lived there for a while.
And what city? Spain, Texas, or
Austin?
What's going on down there with you have family down there with everybody freezing?
Sis is still there. She's currently staying with some friends though, because her apartment had some busted pipes and she got flooded out.
How bad is that Texas infrastructure? How many? It seems like people say, "Oh, I'm in Texas." Like they're not even naming cities; they're naming the whole state.
I mean, part of the problem is, it's the thing everybody makes fun of. They're just not used to that stuff, and they're dumb enough to not build properly. Like they have water pipes on the outside walls of buildings, which you don't have around here because people know better. It's like people survive in the cold in Minnesota and stuff like that. So you could do it,
People could live.
Right. They just don't. They just didn't build stuff proper the first time because they were like, we don't need that. It's like, oh, no, yeah, you are going to need it eventually, dum-dums.
Keith, you grew up in Pennsylvania and the pipes would freeze, right?
You had to, well, I think my parents were just cheap with their pipes and the house. So during the winter, you would have to take the time to waste hot water just so the pipes, are still running.
Yeah.
Oh, so they wouldn't turn on the hot water and so your pipes froze?
You would turn the hot water on so the pipes don't get cold. So you would just waste some water to do that. Sometimes the pipes would still freeze and then we'd take snow outside and melt it on the stove.
Mm. Yeah, we would get that. We would have to like dump boiling water down the thing. We lived in a house that had no hot water at all for a while. So once a week we just would boil water and take a bath, and I just fucking stunk for that whole year.
It was bath and tea day.
Yeah, it was a bad period of time.
Wait, how many siblings do you have?
Two.
So you would have to find enough snow to.
No, we had water. It wasn't snow. There wasn't
Oh.
that part. It's just there's no.
I'm
was
sorry,
like
both of you look
it was
the
like an old
same,
house.
so.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I started going off my own thing. I was just having memories. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Do you how you holding up during the pandemic trade? Do you have to worry about this? Is how we say it without making people sad. Do you have to worry about Valentine's Day?
That was February 14th, right?
Yes.
It was a Sunday this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't got to worry about
No,
it.
it was
Good.
fine. It was
Yeah,
a
all right.
Sunday.
Are you dating anything like this? What was it before the show, Henda, that he was saying like he's gonna hang out with some friends, and Henda does these eyes and then tries to hide it. I don't know if you know that, Henda. Like, there's a fucking pandemic, idiot. But then she's like, tell me more. And it's like,
Look,
I'm just
man.
hanging out with my friend Bob and his sister and their friend, and then we're gonna go eat, and then that waitress is gonna hang out with us. But yeah, we're pretty safe over here. Safer than if I was walking around New York City. And I'm like, what are people doing in these grocery stores in New York City? I'm by nobody.
Have you been to the Trader Joe's in Brooklyn, dude?
I see a line. It's not worth it. And you know what? Does everybody know when they said you got to go to 2 masks now? It's for you assholes that are hanging around with people. My God.
So I know my face is not subtle, and I'm okay with it.
Right.
Look, man, I got to worry about my mental health too. So yeah.
When did you give up? When did you say, look, I'm not living like a fucking fruitcake my whole life. We got to move on. It's 6 months, 7 months, 2 weeks. When did you go, come on, I got to live a life over here?
No, well, I mean, when my dad died, I was forced to leave Brooklyn. So, I mean, I had no choice there. That was just like, I got to get on a plane, It
was his place.
No, because he's got to go see him.
Oh, you had to go see him. I got you. And then once you do that, you break the seal, so to speak, and you're like, fuck it.
No, man. Then I came back to New York.
Okay.
And then for Christmas, I had to leave because family don't start. I don't want to. It was my sister. Look, I get
it. It's Christmas, and they're saying you have to come. And you're saying,
and so I just figured, hey,
you're coming.
While I'm out, I'm going to swing through Texas and see the couple of friends that drove up to Tennessee, to see me.
How many is a couple?
A couple, literally.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want the whole? I mean, we could do I had to fill out contact tracing. Do you want to break it down?
Let's have it. All right.
So I stayed with Jimmy and Angie, who I normally stay with, and their kids, but they both work for school districts, so they get tested all the time. And then saw my sister while I was there, and then one other friend, Megan.
Who does your sister?
John and Peter, and
we've been through that. And then went to Houston and stayed with John and his wife, and there's a daughter involved there.
And the man stays for lunch.
Big house though.
Yeah, big house, right?
Plenty of room.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm saying. I live in New York with 8 million people. At least out there, I was with just 4 people. You
guys are acting like if you by accident pass each other in the kitchen, you're hugging one wall, the other person's hugging the refrigerator.
Well, a lot of time I was by myself, hanging out in the barn, smoking weed and stuff.
Right, that'll even it out. Okay,
yeah, man.
Am I being a hard on Paul, Casey, or are me and Henda just a bunch of pussies?
Are you being hard on Paul or Trey?
Hard on. Am I being too like, hey guys, you still gotta live your life?
No, you think you're doing the right amount, but he's explaining himself. It seems like a pretty fair battle, and I think everyone's doing a good job.
Okay.
I mean, the point is, anywhere if you're going to travel, at least be smart about it. It's not like I was walking around everywhere I went without a mask, going, "Hey, everybody, come over, and let me cough on you." I
had the same. My aunt died in November, and we had to thread the needle on get a tat. There's a funeral. I was close to her. I'm like, I'm going to this. And then I'm like, where is the funeral? Then it was like, is it outside? It was not in the church. It was in the gym next to the church, which is high ceilings, but it was like everybody with masks, but it was too many people. I was caught with that in November.
Right.
At a test where I went down and trying to thread this needle of like, what's safe? I'm going with my mom. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't comfortable with it. I went and did it because my aunt passed and I was close to her, but I'm like, oh, how do we do this? Do you just not go? I don't know. I got faced with that.
But it doesn't sound like I'm hearing a spider web of friends from you. That's all. That's the
No, I mean, I haven't like hang out with a bunch of people. No, it's like really close and COVID tests before the holidays. But I sort of, when I moved down here, I moved in with family and just was right in with 2 people. And then just was sort of like, all right. And then sister has a boyfriend. And then there's a couple people coming over that I can't really control. And I'm just like, all right, well, I can't see my mom or other people. So this is where I'm around. And then I'll get a test before I go see my elderly relatives. I've tried to do that.
Right.
Still real confusing. So I get it. Like Trey, like, I don't know. I'm sort of jammed up. I don't know if I've done good or not.
Raise your hand if you have contracted COVID. Nobody?
No.
I don't know. I just got an empanada from the bodega on the way here, and I couldn't taste it that well.
Fingers crossed, dude.
So I'm a little worried. I don't know.
Or they just have sucky empanadas at that bodega.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, does this suck or am I sick? So I'm gonna do a little taste test in the kitchen once this is over.
Just grab a jalapeno, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad, but that's just kind of all the time, so it's hard to tell.
Or try to sniff some bleach, dude. That'll work. Take a big breath, though. I mean,
I'll
you
take
really
a big huff of bleach.
Yeah,
should do the trick.
What do they say there? Do you get the vibe? What's going on in Texas? Do they say anything about the leadership there, or it's just, hey, it's Texas, we weren't prepared? Because why would we be?
Well, I mean, there's some glaring examples of just idiocy. I mean, Ted Cruz is a walking fucking mess, Like, I think a lot of people are regretting that they voted for him again.
Okay.
But I mean, besides that, that the problem is, again, it's just their infrastructure, What are you going to do? So they got to deal with it the best they can. I mean, it seems like people are stepping up and handling it, and putting together resources pretty quickly, but yeah, it just sucks that the state and the politicians that represent that state haven't done more, or been more vocal about it. I mean, come on, dude. If somebody hadn't posted that picture of Ted Cruz on that plane
going to Maui,
he'd be fucking in Cancun right now.
Going to Cancun. And he goes, hey, I was trying to be a dad. My kids really wanted this vacation, but I see what I did might have been wrong. At the same time, what didn't make the same amount of news is that he sent a letter to his supporters, regular Joes, and said, hey, they're trying to give us a hard time. We can't even go on vacation after doing a good job representing the state. Please help donate to tedcruz.com, as if those go together and make any sense. So you didn't really think that it was a mistake that you made. You doubled down asking for money, but it just didn't get out into the press. Yeah.
Well, then blames it on his kids. Like, what kind of sleazeball? Yeah. Oh my God. Like, if people do vote for him again, when is he up? He's up at like 2024. I mean, anybody that votes for him should not be allowed to vote anymore. And then, just ship them off to South Texas and ship them up north and have them build a wall between us and Canada.
You really turned into a Yankee there, Trey.
Anyway. What?
I like it.
Look, man, I didn't want to move to Texas when we were kids.
Right. This but Trey saying about your dad, sorry to hear. Paul about the aunt. Also, Paul's roommate, Clint Nohr, he was on our show about a year before he passed away, and he died when, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the pandemic, like March.
It's almost a year, right?
Yeah, like the week the pandemic really kicked off, March 18th. So
the episode, if you want to hear it with Clint, is episode 3043, and it was called All Needle Arms, where he was talking about his heroin addiction. Let's see. Clint Nohr is in the studio explaining life with longtime friend and roommate Paul Hooper. Did you guys meet in North Carolina way back when?
Yeah, he started comedy a few years after me, and so he was like a young comic. I started going on the road, and then he was like sort of coming up through there. So I saw him a lot, and then I would do some of the same gigs and road gigs in the beginning, and then he moved in our place in like 2015.
Okay.
So yeah, I did meet him like 15, 17 years ago. It's a long time.
Was his death COVID related?
No,
No.
not at all. No.
It was drug related at 38.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was clean though, right?
Yeah, he was, but I mean, he'd gone and for a few years, but then I don't know. I didn't find out a lot till after the fact of like, he sort of relapsed, and then I didn't know. Then I knew he went in treatment like a month before, and then he just came home from a trip, like from the Bahamas. So that happened on a Wednesday. He got back Monday night, so I got to see him for a day, and then found him Wednesday morning.
You found him.
Yeah.
Oh,
How did you find
I'm
him?
sorry, man.
It was awful. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to hear all the
If you don't mind talking about it.
play-by-play, but we sort of like, so it's a 3-bedroom apartment. We have another roommate, not a comic. She's on the far end, and our bedrooms are on the end. And then I talked to him, and we stay up late. We're comics, so we stayed up to like 2, and I was like, we're just talking shit. And then I was like, I might take a shower, and he's like, all right, whatever, I'll see you in the morning, something like that. We're just talking outside his room. So I jump in the shower, I go back to my room, which is past his room, and his light's on, which I think nothing of it. And then I go to bed, and then I always get up and pee a ton, and then like 6 a.m. I get up to pee, and like his light's still on, doors ajar, lights on. She's like, I don't know. He's not the type to stay up till 6 or 7 in the morning. And I'm like, do you go to a bodega in the middle of the night for food? I'm like, that's not like him either.
Did he seem different when you were talking to him that night, or
No,
nothing different? It was just the light that alerted you to maybe something was off.
yeah. And I mean, he'd been struggling with stuff for the last month or two. So we'd talk. So, I mean, he was an anxious dude, but I am too. And so we were always going through a thing. And then, he's
Struggling, not to get too personal if you don't want to, but struggling with the pandemic or other personal stuff like family.
Yeah, pandemic. He had to worry too that, I mean, and he never told anyone when he was alive that he had cystic fibrosis.
Right.
And so, his lung capacity was at 40%. So when he was down in the Bahamas, this COVID thing kicked off, if he got it, that underlying issue, he's like, good chance he wouldn't make it. So I think that got in his head while he's down in the Bahamas. Then everything came apart. Like they started canceling the shows. Everybody was fleeing the resort. And he's like flying back to New York City with cystic fibrosis. Like, if I get this, I'm not going to make it. So I know that was in his head too. And he's freaking out. And he was thinking about coming home for a couple of days, getting his stuff and moving to his parents' place in North Carolina. They sort of live out in the country. So like, maybe that's the best bet. So he's making those plans. That was his thing. He was going to go stay with his family for a while this thing.
That sounds smart. Yeah.
But
that's why I'm scared. I'm at half capacity lung because of the frozen diaphragm. So I've been in this closet. Like it's very scary to know that like a cold could be the thing. That's just so, and it's just out in the air for you to catch. So
yeah.
So that was a little bit different, but not different from night to night, right?
Yeah. And I mean, because of cystic fibrosis, he had spent so much time since he was a kid in hospitals, in and out. Every couple of years, you got to go in for something where your levels drop. I don't even know the details of it. He's just like, I got to go in for 2 weeks, and they have to boost him back up. So his dread of being in hospitals and like, it's something I can't relate to. I never lived with that disease. So it's sort of like he was carrying a lot. A lot was in his head. So. Yeah.
So when you knock open the door, and
at
then
6 a.m.
At 6 a.m.
Yeah, right before 6. Yeah.
Is there a needle in his arm, literally?
No. But I mean, he was just like it's sort of like, sort of weird to talk about, but like it was open so I could see the top of his bed where he would normally sleep, and he wasn't there. So I'm like, well, he's not asleep. He's not. I thought he just passed out with a light on maybe. And then I like called his name, nothing, pushed the door open. He's at the foot of the bed, just sort of slumped in a position no one sleeps in. Even if you were drunk, you wouldn't pass out like that. Sort of folded over. I'm like, fuck. So I went and got my other roommate because I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm seeing. I'm not sure what's right. I don't know whether to touch him or what. And I got her, and then she checked him, and she's like, call 911. And so we did.
But he was already dead, right?
Yeah.
When she said call 911.
Yeah, sure.
And then there's an autopsy later that you follow up on?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get like all these toxicology reports. I knew what had happened. So that all went to his parents. And
do you break the news?
I don't know. I don't need the breakdown of what exactly was in his system to know. I mean, I got an idea, and I don't want to ask her or his mom or dad about.
Oh, so you didn't break the news? Did you break the news to the parents, or that's the police?
Yeah, I mean, that was the job. I mean, so at 6 a.m. I had to, and then they, pronounced him dead, and then I got to call his parents at 6:30.
Fuck. Had you ever spoken to his parents before that?
Yeah, I met his mom once and his dad once.
In
ran
person?
a little bit. I didn't know them well, but yeah, we talked. And so I'd seen him down south, and his mom had come to New York for a minute. So I met her, talked to her for a bit. They're very nice.
When you called, when they heard that it was you, did they know?
I called his dad. I mean, 6:30 in the morning, I think woke him up, and it was just sort of, I mean, I don't know how he just took sort of, I feel like he maybe knew. Maybe, I don't know. A phone call at 6:30 in the morning, and I said it, and I don't know. I was sort of, I'm numb, still in a daze, and just did it. And just
Do you remember if you just spit it out, or do you start with some kind of pleasantry?
I just spit it out. My roommate at the time, she was great about it because she was sort of like, you got to call people. And she's like, I can call for you. But she didn't really know him like I knew him. I'm like, no, I'll call. And she's like, make a list, start with his parents, and just go down it and check it off. And I just did it methodically. And I was so numb and so shocked that I just like, if his parents first, then our close friends, and just one after another, and just, delivering this horrific news. So I just did it methodically. I'm like, nothing's worse than him being dead. So I hate calling his parents was excruciating, but I mean, it just has to be done. So I just called one after the other. And just,
How long have you been sober? You're a pro now.
May of 2006, so going on 15 years.
Okay. Did that at the time affect your sobriety at all?
No, it reinforces it.
Okay.
In a weird way. I mean, it makes me more angry towards it. Yeah, it's just, no, people ask that when it first happened, they're like, are you tempted now more than I'm like, no, it fucking angers me more towards any kind of, drugs or alcohol. It drives me further away from it.
Right.
Because I'm like, yeah, my friend's dead because of it. And so, no, I've always had that. I've got sort of a weird sobriety. You guys know, I don't really to go to AA or anything, but I sort of looked at it always as sort of the enemy. That drugs and alcohol now are like, it's just a fucking dirty trick for people. It's a money-making scheme. I don't care whether you die or not. I mean, I know that's a killjoy way to look at it. It's a hard way to live, but it keeps me sober. I'm like, it's a fucking trick.
When did you?
Because I need a bottle.
When did you stop being numb? Did you cry? Do you react?
Yeah, I was upset. That's still, I don't know. I think I still carry it. I still think I probably need therapy. I don't think I've unpacked it because it was at the beginning of the pandemic. So everybody's losing their shit. Everybody's life has changed. So it's sort of like people are dying of COVID in New York. New York's going crazy in like March. So
it's almost like, who can you complain to, right?
Yeah. And I didn't want to bum out my friends who are already like losing work and their families getting sick. What are they going to do for money and all this stuff? So I didn't really want to put it on everybody. My close friends, I heard. And then there's days, but I feel bad that he almost got like forgotten in that. But, I felt like, it's one of those things people remember. But yeah, then I sort of had no one besides my roommate or family to talk to.
And do you still not go to therapy? Is it like there was a long time where I didn't drink or smoke, and it, without realizing it, it became a sense of pride. Like I didn't want to do it halfway. Like, oh yeah, I tried it, or I do a little bit. It was like all or nothing. Are you afraid to break the seal of therapy?
No, I probably need therapy. Now it's a financial thing. Like, I feel like I would go to therapy 5 days a week if it wasn't a money issue. But no, and I know I will have to do it at some point. But yeah, because I don't think that stuff has come out. I'm suppressing a lot of shit. I don't know. It's the trauma of seeing it. It's like people dying, but also like seeing someone like that's stuck in your mind forever. So
what was that like?
And also, if this helps you out, Casey just came upon a windfall. So I don't know if he already, blew it all over the weekend. But
what? Oh,
therapy. Thank you, Casey.
Yeah, I'll buy you therapy. I'll send this Loverboy shirt back and get you some sessions.
Sorry to bum everyone out on the podcast.
This is more Chris Robinson's fault, I think. But
yeah, we get really sad. Like I went through the same thing. When Dad died, it was that feeling of like, well, it becomes very clear to you that life goes on. What I'm saying? Like nobody cares that my dad died. At the time it was like, that's when everybody was going out at 7 and pounding pots together for hospital workers, and hospital workers technically, are the ones that messed up and killed my dad, and so
what happened to your dad?
He went in for back surgery, and the surgery went fine, and something happened when he was in recovery, and they're not being real clear about it, but basically he went without oxygen long enough to cause terminal brain damage. And
Is
so
are
yeah,
you-
the cause of death was anoxic brain injury, which is lack of oxygen to the brain. And
when
that
people are
takes-
doing pots and pans and you had a personal mishap with the hospital, is that anger in you? Like, is it somebody's cheering? Like, you know,
it wasn't anger, but it was that feeling of like, hey man, they're not all heroes. Like,
Right.
look, they're workers. They're doing, you know, I very much took that angle. It wasn't anger. It was just like, hey, they chose that job, you know, I mean, yeah, okay, cool. They're doing a good job and their job is hard right now, but you know, these are also fallible human beings that make mistakes and kill people.
Well, I want to mention this, and I hope it doesn't come off tacky. I hope it's good timing. But let me remind people about BetterHelp. Hemda uses it, and it's therapy that she fell in love with. Am I exaggerating?
No, because it's just easy. I was trying to do it through insurance, and it's, you know, so much call this, then wait to call back, and who takes the insurance, who doesn't. I mean, I even called recently. I called another doctor, and I was like, oh yeah, I have whatever. I need surgery again, and my doctor doesn't work in that specific place, and so I go, okay, well, don't I speak to another doctor then? Because you won't give me the original doctor's thing. And they're like, well, it depends what kind of insurance you have. And I'm like, that's how you're gonna respond to me? What if I'm rich? Like,
right.
What comes next? What doctor comes next? Don't worry about my wallet yet. Jesus Christ. So it's just like, I feel like it's such a to-do that my mental health was able to get started just right away when I joined this app. It was so much easier. And now I just talk to someone on a regular basis. Honestly, after the first time I spoke with him, with the original person that I was speaking with, after the first time things changed, just because it's a release. You're talking to someone outside of your circle. So it doesn't matter if you say weird shit, it's not going to stick, you know? So all of a sudden things are starting to come out that I'm not worried about how I'm going to make someone else feel if I say this. I'm going to make a third person who's not even listening feel if I say this. And then things just kind of naturally go. And they made it really easy.
You'll go to BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, betterhelp.com/KATG. BetterHelp, join over 1 million people that, you know, blah, 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 blah. So many people are using BetterHelp. They're putting more people on staff in all 50 states. And here's a little offer for you. Go to betterhelp.com/KATG. Get 10% off. It makes it a little easier to get help. All right. Wow, Chris, you're heavy.
Way to pick him, Chris.
Yeah, way to pick him, Chris. I'm you know, everybody's losing their shit during this pandemic. I was reading a story today. 3 people, including a shooter, are dead after a dispute over snow shoveling in Pennsylvania. Around 9 a.m. Monday, the shooter, Jeffrey Spade, got into an argument with James and Lisa Goy, who lived across the street while shoveling snow from the driveway. One place was saying the other people are putting snow on their property, and you know, you can't be doing that. The Goys were shoveling snow from their parking spots across the street onto Spade's property. Spade asked them to stop, and the argument escalated quickly. As they argued, Spade went into his house, retrieved a handgun, came back outside, firing multiple shots, quote, at close range at the Goys. He then went back into the house, pulled out an AR-style rifle, and fired at the injured Goys, executing them. So everybody's, I guess, literally standing their ground. I don't know. You ask, hey, who needs an AR-style rifle? This horrible shot. That's who needs one.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll be back.
Shit.
I dare you. You missed all the times now. Oh, wait, I got another one.
Yeah, really over 10 feet with
If
a
this
handgun,
was-
you got a 50-50 shot, you know,
Right.
at best.
Yeah. Damn, that's
But if I saw that scene in a movie, I'd be like, can we get better
Right.
writers? What the fuck? Oh, okay, hold on. I'll be right back. He goes into his
Well,
Well,
house
this
keep
clearly
going,
twice.
wasn't
honey.
about just snow, you know. This
Never
started with
is.
somebody's
Stuff.
dog
course.
pooping on somebody else's lawn.
Yeah.
If it's
Real.
hysterical,
Couple
it's
years ago.
historical.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody spoiled WandaVision for him. And this is why I don't shovel. This is what I tell Courtney. I'm like, you don't know what kind of cycles are out there. We'll wait till it melts.
You
We'll
make
wait
her
till it
handle the shoveling.
No, I'm like, we're not going. We gotta wait
because
till
she's the
spring.
psycho.
Yeah, she's
Just
the one
wait
who's gonna
till
kill
spring.
someone. I'm gonna hide her guns all over the house.
I feel like this is the kind of fight that could escalate pretty quickly, even for like regular folks who don't go to fighting right away, because there is like an injustice here. Why are you putting this? Why are you giving me double the work? And if I shut up, I'm just the neighbor that just takes it.
So you're siding with the shooter.
How do you?
Is what I'm hearing. You think he was in the right?
I need to hear the whole story before I pick a side. That's where I'm at.
This is Chris Rock on OJ. She's not saying she agrees.
I am so not agreeing,
but she understands.
I'm just saying, I think neighbors can get into it so quickly because there's a line where this is my privacy, and then I just step over that line, and now I'm on your privacy, and all we have is our homes right now because there's not much to go. So also, I think this guy was ready to shoot people a while ago. Those guns sounded loaded and easily found. I bet he couldn't find his keys as quickly as he found 2 different guns going back in twice. So yeah, I think that guy was ready.
Yelling out the window, hold on.
It's awesome how upset people get over invisible lines, That's like you bought a house in the suburbs, dude. First off, like you're not in the country. You're going to be right next door to your neighbor.
So if you caught the headline, there's a little more. Police arrived soon after the Goys were shot, and as they approached, they heard a single gunshot coming from Spade's house, which they believe was the self-inflicted shot that killed him. Both James and Lisa Goy were pronounced dead at the scene. The Goys left behind a 15-year-old son with autism, whose grandparents will assume custody. The cops say they worked through the night on the case and consider the investigation closed. Like, I get it. What if it was something deep? And they're like, I got it. He probably put snow on his property.
Right, everyone's dead.
This was like, or dead. Something happened at the Super Bowl party a couple years ago, and somebody grabbed somebody's ass, or this was not about shoveling snow.
This throws me off because every time Keith goes, the Goys did this, because Goy means non-Jewish person.
Is that racist?
Like,
is your brain racist?
Fucking non-Jews over here.
I have Ken as a co-host just so I can read articles like this.
That's great.
Yeah, spoonful of sugar.
Wow.
An ex-con got so sick of his roommates during the UK's coronavirus lockdown that he turned himself into cops to get some, quote, peace and quiet. It doesn't say what he was a ex-con for. The unidentified Sussex man who was out on parole told cops that he would rather go back to prison than continue living with his housemates.
Oh, boy.
Because there's just so much stress. Everybody's losing their shit. Also, Sussex doesn't have a Duke and Duchess. It just made news today that the royal family definitely isn't going back to work. So you're just losing your shit. You put a lot of money down on a house. All of a sudden, you don't have a Duke and Duchess. Lock me up. Lock me the fuck up.
I get it. That's heartbreaking stuff, man.
Yeah,
you need a Duke and Duchess.
Yeah, you need a Duke and Duchess. It's understood. My place is going to have a Duke and Duchess.
Yeah.
Now you buy the house and go, I don't want to pay mortgage. I don't have a Duke and Duchess. Well, that's not on the lease. Well, it's assumed. Oh, well.
The roommate probably agreed with them leaving the royal family, and this guy disagreed. And luckily, there wasn't a gun nearby. Right. Or it would have been another Goy situation. This has been an uplifting episode. I gotta say.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, I think hasn't everybody had moments where they've been like, you know what, I could, a night or two in jail would probably do me good, and is probably a better situation than what I'm in right now.
When I prank called 911, I got 2 days in jail. It was horrific. That was the most I could do. 48 hours in jail, work like a charm. I don't know how people do 6 months, 5 years, but 2 days is perfect for it. 1 day to sleep it off and 1 day to hate it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yikes.
Perfect.
I always felt like a year in jail would be good. I was like, I'd get in shape, I'd read, and now that's basically happening now, and I've done neither. So I was like, no, I would just lay around and stare at the wall.
Yeah, you have to be in jail for at least 2 days so that you know the food isn't really good.
Right, yeah.
The first day, you're like, this isn't the worst. Then the
quickly.
second day, you're like, oh, shit. This is a horrible way to live. All right, I'll leave you with an uplifting story.
All
or
right.
a fun story, anyway. Speaking of football, perhaps you saw the great Tom Brady celebrating his win at the Super Bowl, and he's, drunk and, a little maskless, but what are you going to do? It's 2021. You got to live your life. And he was on a boat, and they have video of him taking the Lombardi Trophy and tossing it to another boat to his teammates. And they're a very good team. It's caught and everything. It doesn't fall in the water. Very exciting. The daughter of the man that designed the very first Super Bowl trophy is saying that she's having mental problems now because she can't sleep knowing that trophy, that stupid football on a stick, wasn't respected the way it should be.
It's just rich people complaining, right? It's just rich people that have
Right.
Right.
I mean, first off, that's not the original that her father made or whatever. They make a new one every year. Like if you go to Green Bay or something, they've got, 4 of them in a case or whatever.
Yeah.
Second off, the Stanley Cup is the oldest trophy in professional sports, and each player on the team gets to spend an entire day with that thing. Do you know the things they have done to that cup? I mean, it has a dent in it from a pool party. Claude Lemieux went on Howard Stern and took a shit in the top of it. Like that. Yeah,
it's a bowl. It's a bowl. So the cutest thing is if they eat out of it.
What was this girl's point? Did she want money or just some attention?
She wants an apology. Lorraine Gross, Grohs, says, I didn't sleep for the past couple nights because of this. I was that upset. I know the passion that goes into the trophy and how my dad and all the fellow silversmiths are so proud to make this. It was just upset to me that this trophy was disgraced and disrespected by being thrown as if it was a real football. It's not. It's even better than real football. By the way, the concussions, she can give a fuck. But the trophy.
Oh, she's so fun. Yeah. Like if she gives you a gift and you use it wrong.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. She makes you dinner. That's not how you're supposed to eat dinner.
I get it. My dad made a bench one time. If I saw some dudes throwing it between a boat, I would fucking lose my mind. I'm like, you fucking worked 3 hours on that bench, guys.
And work on the bench. You just picked one off the street and painted it. We're still proud of him.
This lady needs more problems in her life. This is fucked up. I was happy to see Tom drunk and having fun. I'm a Patriots fan, so I've been hating him all year. Right. But then once he actually won, I had to, support him. And I was happy to see him be drunk once in a while because I've never seen him actually. He doesn't seem like a man who has a lot of joy.
Yeah. If he doesn't win, there's a year where he doesn't win a Super Bowl, he can't hang out with his friends.
What the hell
he does that to himself. He's like, no, I didn't earn it. And today, you're allowed too much tequila. Sure.
It's true. I was happy to see him drunk and happy and throwing shit around.
And his body's so perfect that he probably is the cure to the virus. Let him breathe on people. That doesn't bother me.
There's no
but his head is starting to look odd. Is he getting plastic surgery?
Absolutely. 100%.
It looks odd. He's starting to look strange.
His wife was talking him into that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know. It's too much.
She says, I personally would like an apology, not just to me and my family and the other silversmiths. Now, this isn't a last name. This is, this is the job, a silversmith. She wants an apology for all silversmiths out there, but also to the fans. Brady has not yet responded to the request.
Why is she still talking?
Successful silversmith in the world.
Right.
Fucking Trey that died 500 years ago.
Oh my God.
She's finally getting a trust fund.
Jesus Christ.
You're right. She does need some more people in her life to die or something. Something bad.
She needs something bad to happen to her. That's what I think.
And that's the response from all men. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Chris.
Casey James Salengo, you want to download his podcast, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she needs something bad to happen to her.
It's true. People need strife in their life.
I know.
Come on. You know it.
That knows no gender or sex or what. I don't know. Yeah. Or both.
Right. It's okay.
He's like, I can tell they're wrapping up. Why did I go for it? Trey Galyon, get his albums on Spotify and iTunes. Just look up Trey Galyon. And Paul Hooper, the album you want to get is Tense and Uncomfortable. It's the name of that.
And every time you buy Tense and Uncomfortable, that's 1% more of him going to therapy.
Yeah, that's
soon.
true.
So you're buying a small piece. I mean, like, he names his fucking album Tense and Uncomfortable. That's how he's gonna start therapy. Here's my album. That's gonna be the first album. The first hour.
Used it as an album title.
See,
Yeah, but
No,
it's
that's what the people at the label were introducing me to the photographer for the cover art, and they're like, "When you meet Paul, just know he's tense and uncomfortable." And they copied me on that fucking email. I'm like,
oh
you know,
my God.
they're
Oh
like,
my
you know,
God.
you are, and I'm like, yes.
Are you so? You're so tense and uncomfortable. People need a forewarning. Like you're not gonna be. You need to know.
This guy?
Be a lot.
You don't want to meet him. Yeah, it's awful. So
okay. Well, let's give it up one more time for Chris Robinson, producer of the year, who now we see, because time went by, it's not a time zone issue, so who knows?
Well, that's the lead singer of the Black Crowes, right? I mean, he's clearly busy doing other things.
Oh, he's busy.
He shouldn't be. There's a pandemic, Trey.
Oh, right. Sorry.
And guys, don't forget, Casey has one of our favorite podcasts on earth, The Good, the Dad, and the Ugly. What's going on in your podcast recently?
Oh, a lot of stuff. We're just talking to ladies. We're going to record one in a minute with my beautiful wife, talking about the whole Britney Spears thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's obsessed.
Oh,
and
nice.
we got our Patreon going now. A lot of people, there's like $2-3 tiers. We're getting some, a lot of hits on that. So if you want to, it's on my Instagram, go to KCJ Salengo, get the Patreon, help us out. We're very poor.
And 1% of that goes to Paul Hooper's therapy.
Yeah.
So
I will pay for
really,
therapy, or at least I'll call him on the phone or something.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get Paul therapy. We're gonna get Trey a fucking mask. We're gonna get. Well, I'm very excited for everybody.
Yeah, Casey's doing all right.
I'm doing great.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard about these windfalls. Yeah. All right. Don't forget, get tickets for a Saturday night, Silent Trailers. It's always a whole bunch of fun. Go to keithandthegirl.com/tickets. Get a free ticket through keithandthegirl.com/VIP.
And you know what's funny? You're saying get tickets, but your whole entire family just needs one ticket. So
That's true.
get ticket and, your whole pod can watch. keithandthegirl.com/tickets. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris.
keithandthegirl.com